right, thanks you guys for being here and appreciate it. I know it's coming, so I'll just tell you, we don't know anything about Riz yet. So I think she's being evaluated and checked out. I actually don't think we'll know really anything till tomorrow morning. But we'll go from there. So I really don't know anything yet. I think the reality is that we're not a very good team yet. And I did like our energy for each other. I think there were some things that we did, 28 points in the paint in the second half. I really challenged them to get the ball inside in the second half. Thought they did a much better job of finding IImar'I. We got downhill with J. Penn and Riz a little bit more. I thought we had, we had 10 kills in the game. Kills are when you get 3 stops, or 1 kill is 3 stops in a row. But what happened is, we got these great stops and then even live ball turnovers and then just made really silly turnovers. And so just took instead of building the energy and let's get another one, let's go, it deflates us. And then we end up giving up a silly play. So we got to cut those errors down. And I just told them in the locker room, the reality is we're not tough enough, we're not together enough. I believe you guys want to do the right thing. We got some bad habits. And don't let 2-0 deceive you. You got to let the pain of the things we're not doing be greater than the pain it'll take to change. And the reality is change is hard, and we got some stuff we got to change, and we got to change it fast. And, it's going to be important that we do that. And my job is to become a better teacher every day, every week, every game, and try to help put these kids in positions to be successful, but they also have to be really good learners. And I have to be a relentlessly better teacher, and they need to be relentlessly better learners. And we just got to keep focusing on getting better.
Coach, do you think that the team just needs a little bit more time? Because in the first game as well, it seemed like it was a slow start.
Yeah.
It got better in the second.
Both games, we got outscored in the first quarter, both games, and did not execute the scouting report either time. And we have a saying in our team, all the time, that the tougher, more together team wins. But every game that might look a little bit different. What are you trying to take away? And I just told the team in the locker room, we got to learn from that. Both quarters, we weren't ready to go. And I pointed to practice yesterday. We finished really well in practice yesterday, but how did we start? And they said, not very well. I said, that's a habit that has to change. And you have to take responsibility for that. So we need more talk and we need more effort plays. We got a few more than we did versus Pepperdine. I was pleased in the second half. They were 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. I thought we made those much tougher, and the one that they got was by a non-shooter at the end of the shot clock. So I thought that was improvement. But yes, Mike, I'm really concerned with out of the gate, not being locked in and not executing our scouting report and then having to make up time down the road. We won't be able to do that versus Virginia on Sunday.
And just really quickly, what are your thoughts on Izzy? Not the most points, but I think she led rebounds.
Yeah, I think she's been huge. I asked our team, okay, what was the most inspiring play of the game? And that's what they said. The play where Izzy got, switched out onto their point guard. She sat down, got a tip, then dove on the floor, got a hustle play and the 50-50 ball. That not only is great for that possession, that inspires everybody else. And so I'm actually really pleased with the effort and progress of Izzy and Steve. And, we're thrilled to have her. I think she's just been practicing really well. She's been very intentional, really worked through her footwork and her go-to moves inside and tried to really simplify her reads. And she's just becoming much more confident. And I think she's going to be a huge factor for us, and I'm excited for how she's coming along. I think she's probably been our most consistent energy player. And I think that's been a huge piece.
Hey, Coach, defensively, it seemed like, tonight, and even, the first game against Pepperdine, that some of those shots they were getting in the first half, especially those threes were wide open.
Yeah.
Just what changed defensively? It seems you locked up a little bit in the second half. What changed? And then what do you have to do, to bring that defensive intensity from the get-go?
Well, if I knew, I would have solved it already. I think we're not a real confident group right now. And I think sometimes when you haven't earned that confidence, you tend to watch plays, then react to plays, instead of anticipate plays and make plays. And we've got to change that. A lot of those, they drove downhill, we had good help rotation, then skip pass out, and just no reaction time. You got to close out and beat the ball. But it's like we're hoping something good happens instead of making something good happen. It's under our control. And, I mean, just candidly, that's probably my biggest frustration right now. And I know it's Tasha's and Shannon's that are defensive coordinators on this, and ultimately that's with me, is that we have more in us. So the good news is that we got a lot of room to grow. I think we got a lot of be able to really become a great team. But why aren't we right now? And why are we watching plays? I mean, something we got to figure out. Otherwise, we're going to have a whole lot of L's. That's the reality of it. We're having too many plays where we're chasing the ball or we're watching it instead of anticipating and going and making a play. And it's just got to mean that much to you. You got to sit down in the stands. You got to talk about where we are. I think the biggest thing, you cannot be a good team without communication. Just can't. And we refuse to do what it takes to go from being a group of individuals to a cohesive team. And it's really frustrating, quite frankly, as a coach, because I know it, they know it. We try to hold the standard and try to really hold them accountable to that in practice. We show it to them on film, and we got to figure out a way to change it real fast.
We talk about the frustrations a lot, but I noticed like even the turnovers and things of that nature, you still encourage your team. How is it important for you to continue to encourage them in that moment?
Well, I think, as a coach, I think Coach Wooden has a saying. He says, the biggest form of partiality is to treat every player the same. And I would add to it, to treat every team the same. This team doesn't have their total identity yet. And I tried to really lighten them up against Pepperdine, and they've gotten the wrath side of me, and especially the last week. And I just didn't think that was going to be effective. In the end, I'm trying to hold the standard, but I need to help them grow. And if what I was doing wasn't helping them grow, I'm not going to rah-rah them, I'm not going to sugarcoat, but I didn't think it was going to change the behavior to light them up. So I just tried to be very calm and say, this is the standard, this is where we're falling short, this is what it's going to take to get there. What are you going to choose? And so, I just think coaching is such an art form. It's not a scientific formula. And how can you know your team and know your individuals and still never lower the standard of teaching, but maybe the style changes.
And you talk about not sugarcoating anything. You got 2-0 right now, but you're still pretty tough on them. Is it because you know that it's team that's not going to allow the mistakes to happen? Well, the reality is,
I know what's coming. I know what the playing in the #1 conference in the country is. And, it's about preparing for growth. And it's about being urgent about what does the team need from me and am I delivering? Can they count on me to do my job? And right now, they know they can't. We are not consistent on doing our job with the things under our control on a consistent basis for the sake of the team. And that's disappointing. But it really erodes their own inner confidence because they know they haven't earned it. People always say, can you give your team more confidence? No. They have to earn it by conquering hard things. And I can't let up. I gotta provide the struggle and the joy, but the struggle and the joy together so that we learn to conquer really hard things so that we earn the confidence we're gonna need playing really good teams ahead. And, I know what the standard is. I told them the other day in practice, look guys, I know the roadmap. I'm confident in that I can lead you there. The question is, will you let me push you to those places? Will you let me push you to those uncomfortable places and step up and compete, respond, conquer, fight for it every inch? Can we be 3 possessions better today? And can you be that urgent about it? And that's what they got to choose. And my job is to make it really uncomfortable if they don't.
Hi, Coach. You talked about Mari and her scoring, especially in the second half. It looked like in the first half they were kind of, denying her a lot of post entries and whatnot. I guess what changed in the second half? Was it something they were doing defensively, or how are you guys just able to get so many more post catches for in the second?
I think it's a two-way street. I think that We need to get better at when she posts, no understanding angles, creating the next catch to make sure we get her the ball more often. And Mari needs to aggressively attack tempo to create more scoring touches. It's both. And she can grow in her consistency in that, and our team can grow in our ability to find her. I mean, they tell her all the time, you're a bucket. But I also tell her that great privilege comes great responsibility. If you're going to be a GOAT, every scouting report's going to be centered around her. And we want to move her around and do that. Well, she's going to have to play at a higher tempo. And she's going to have to understand how to really set things up and be more explosive. And she can do it. She's got great feet. And she can do it. You can see it. When she puts her mind to it, I thought she ran the floor better in the second half, too. I really believe in IImar'I Thomas. I think she is spectacular. Her basketball IQ, she just needs to play with higher tempo for longer periods of time. And we have to do a better job of rewarding her for that.
And then just one quick follow-up.
Sure.
Obviously, you talked about charisma already, but I think there was 3 other injuries in the game. And, Izzy, Natalie, and Kayla, I believe. Anything on them? And then also...
Yeah, I think they're fine. I think, they might add a little tweak here or there, but I don't think it's anything serious with those other 3. And I don't know yet with Riz where we are with it, but, I've had a lot of practice at adjusting to adversity with this, so... I think it's really important for me as a leader to just be very solution-minded, to focus on the things under our control, and to provide pathways to be successful no matter who we have out there. And with every, difficulty comes opportunity for some. For Dominique, I liked how she really attacked the basket the last part of the game, and thought she did some aggressive things. And, I think we're going to need her, right? If Riz is down, I thought, how Jay Penn came in and played the 1. Jay Penn has never played a point guard position her entire life. And, when Riz went down, she stepped up, and I thought we ran the high flat ball screen forward, and she attacked space well, and, I think she did some good things that way. So, I don't think it's, those other ones are serious. I don't know yet about charisma, and so, but, my job is to care for charisma, and come alongside charisma, and then to lead our team to do things and to know that they're ready and prepared to do so.
Thanks, Coach.
Now, do whatever.